Hello, this is Professor Arlo Kane, California State Polytechnic University in Pomona, and this is a short screencast on using ShareLaTeX, an open source web-based LaTeX system for typesetting small assignments such as the proof portfolio in my real analysis class. Okay, first of all, what is tech? The letters T, E, and X at the top of the screen are actually Greek letters tau, epsilon, and chi. So you would pronounce this tech rather than tex, like Tex-Mex food or something like that. It's a name of a software program designed by the great computer science professor Donald Knuth of Stanford University for typesetting technical documents such as articles using mathematics or data analysis or basically anything in the sciences is oftentimes put together using tech for publication in scientific journals or books of that type. Tech was developed in the late 80s and has grown over time into LaTeX and various other incarnations of the software. So LaTeX is actually lambda, alpha, tau, epsilon, chi. That's why we pronounce it LaTeX rather than latex. You can always tell a rookie if you hear someone refer to typesetting things in latex. It's not paint that we're talking about. We're talking about mathematics and software. It's maintained as a free open source software system by a worldwide community of users, and there's lots of help and documentation available on the internet. If you don't know what code to use for typesetting a particular symbol, Google it. You'll find forums where people have answered these questions. You'll find lots of documents that have the complete symbol list with all the different commands that you can use. There's an enormous array of possibilities. Many of the symbols that we'll be using in real analysis were encoded in the original software in tech and are really quite straightforward in terms of commands. We'll see an example in just a minute. So ShareLaTeX is a new resource. It's a company that provides this service online. Before, what you would have to do with writing and using LaTeX is you would write code into a TeX file. Then you would run the software program LaTeX on that file. It would read it like a computer program, taking all the instructions you gave it, and it would produce a beautifully typeset output, or it would pause because there was some sort of a bug in the code. And then you would try and view the output file and make corrections and go back and forth between these two forums. With ShareLaTeX, you can actually do all of this in a web browser and for free. So instead of having to download the software program LaTeX and figure out how to install it on your machine, download something in which to edit your TeX files and run the LaTeX system locally on your own machine, you can use the internet and the servers at this company to store and run that program for you. So there's no need to download anything in order to use this assignment. As of fall of 2015, individual service was free. They make money by selling people subscriptions, which enable them to actually share and collaborate on files. So if you're familiar with Google Docs, where you can simultaneously edit a shared file, you can do that with this ShareLaTeX program. You can simultaneously edit a shared file. If you were, say, working in a group with other students or undergraduate researchers on a paper, that would be advantageous. But it requires paying a subscription, and you don't really need to do that. This is a really small task that we're doing for our course, so the individual service should be fine, and it's free. The web address for ShareLaTeX is shown here at the base of the screen, ShareLaTeX.com. Let's go over to it and get started. The first thing you'll need to do, though, is go into Blackboard to our assignments page. Click on and download the proof portfolio project.zip file. This contains the basic framework for the proof portfolio that you'll be entering your project into when you type in problems. So go ahead and click to download the file. it'll open up an option for you. You should save it somewhere that you know where it'll be, like in the Downloads Manager, because we'll need to upload it to ShareLaTeX in a moment. Okay, so here is ShareLaTeX.com. That's the main advertising page. This is a picture of what the environment looks like inside. There's code that you type in order to write your mathematical text, and it is compiled into a nice beautiful document with formulas and equation numbering if you want over on the right hand side of the window. And by editing things over here, clicking recompile, you can change the view of it in the right hand pane. To get started, you just need an email address and password to register for a free account. Password can be whatever you want. So I'll put in my email address and my password. Okay, and it'll open up the main page, which invites you to start a new project. And notice that I have no projects stored here. What we'll do is click on New Project, and you can start a completely blank one. They have some examples. What we're going to do is upload a project to the system. So here you need to put a zip file in containing the ingredients for the project. So go ahead and click on that. So then you go and find where you saved your downloaded project file. So proof portfolio project.zip. We'll go ahead and upload that. It'll unpackage the contents and bring up the sample window. On the right hand side you'll have a compiled output, and on the middle screen you'll have the code, and in this window you can minimize if you want in order, because that just contains the internal structure of that folder, which isn't important right now. Okay. So you might split it in half, and then you can zoom out on the output so that you can see the whole page, or you can zoom in a little bit in order to see it. And this way you can have the code on one side and the output on the other. Another viewpoint that you might like is to, actually that's just the way it is. Okay, so over here on the left in the code, let's make it a little bit wider here so we can see. You'll notice up at the top there's a preamble of a bunch of stuff that I've put in here for you. What you will actually be adding to is just right in here. You'll be replacing this comment line with your solutions to the proof problem and adding further problems in your solutions as you go along. The rest of this stuff you don't need to touch at all. But here's the basic structure. The code starts by saying that this is an article type of document. It's going to use some packages from the American Mathematical Society for mathematics and associated symbols. These commands help to set the margins of the page so that it is the right sort of size and has the right line spacing to it, so that I can edit or make commentary on your file after you upload it to the finished one to Blackboard. This little batch of commands here gives some shortcut names to commands that will typeset the symbols we use for various sets of numbers. For example, writing \math BB, BB for Blackboard bold, and then an R will give you the fancy looking R we use to denote the set of all real numbers. You'll see that down below. There's some comments in here on the basics of typesetting that I've already sort of talked to you before. You can read those for yourself. But here is the actual meat of the LaTeX document. So it starts with begin the document, and then within inside of that there is begin portfolio. This creates the environment that your portfolio, the environment for writing your portfolio. Here's the name of our course. This is where you should replace that text with your name and then put the appropriate term. The very first line says begin enumerate. This will create a numbered list with a new number for each thing you put after the word \item. So here is \item, prove or disprove the following statement, and you'll recognize the statement as the first problem from quiz 1. So what you need to do is place your proof here. To do that, you could just remove that comment and write, I believe this is true. Here's my proof. Let A, B, P, and R, and note that, and you would continue to write for your argument. So when you're typesetting things in LaTeX, strings of characters that are between $signs are typeset as mathematical formulas, whereas strings of characters that are outside the $signs appear as regular text. So if we go ahead and compile, you'll notice that the output has changed. I'll zoom in here so you can see it. As instructed, we have a numbered list starting with problem 1. Here's the problem directly from the quiz. And then your answer starts, I think this is true, here's my proof. Let A, B, and R, and note that. And if we had continued writing, we could put in the whole solution. When your argument is complete, it's a good idea to leave some sort of a symbol that indicates that the argument is over. So maybe the last line is this completes the proof, but if you want to make it look fancy like in a book, you can do /hfill in order to fill up the horizontal space on that line, and then place a box, and notice that at the end of the line will be a nice little symbol indicating that the proof is over, just like you see in the textbooks. Okay? So if you need help with writing symbols, mostly for this problem, notice you only need the less than or equal to symbol. So that's what /LE will typeset for you. You can typeset powers using the caret symbol for raising to a power, just like you would if you were entering such things on a calculator. The other one to know about is for fractions. You write /frac, and then there are two objects that are enclosed in braces. The first one is the numerator, and the second one is the denominator, and that'll appear as 1/2 in the usual way in the output. Now, when you're all done with your project, you need to be able to submit it. In order to do that, you're going to have to download the file. So go ahead and click up there on the top, the menu icon, and bring up the menu. It says download. You want to download a PDF of your output. It'll bring it up in a separate tab, and from there you can, in your browser, save it to any location that you wish. Once you've saved it, then you'll be able to go back into Blackboard and resubmit submit your proof portfolio for grading. Now if you need to, you can close that download folder, go back to your project, and work on it some more, change things, and edit. In fact, if you want to log out, you can go back to projects using that up arrow and log out of the system. But then when you return to ShareLaTeX and go ahead and log in, that project should be waiting for you in your project group. And by clicking on it, you can bring it right back up to where you started and work with it there. If you want to download a copy of the source files for your own records, you can use the download source feature. It'll bring up a window with a new version of the portfolio project.zip file that you can put into your own folders for later, and it'll contain the changes that you made. That's all there is to it. Happy teching.